An enormous mass of seaweed has grown to a staggering size in the Atlantic Ocean, raising concerns from scientists. Researchers say this year's bloom of sargassum seaweed is much larger than previous seasons, and it's roughly twice the width of the continental US. Scientists are worried about the environmental and health impact as the seaweed invades coastal ecosystems and covers beaches in the Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico. Researchers have found that human activity and climate change are fueling these massive blooms of seaweed.
From high up, the Darling looks like it's been scattered with leaves. But on the waters of the Darling at Menindee, the stench reveals the reality.
It's pretty pungent at the moment.
Low levels of oxygen, organic matter from floodwaters and warm temperatures have killed millions of fish.
It's quite devastating out there at the moment. We've been sort of keeping an eye on this over the last couple of months, really.
The scale of this event is hard for locals to comprehend. Menindee experienced a number of fish kills in 2018-19 during drought. This one exceeds all of them combined.
We had sort of one of the largest droughts on record, and then we've experienced 2 to 3 years of the most prolonged flooding on record. So when the system moves and oscillates between these extremes, it sort of obviously is going to present quite significant stresses for our native fish population.
Most of the fish here are bony bream, a native species. They're known for thriving in the good times and dying off in large numbers in the bad. But even authorities say this isn't normal.
At least 10 people have died in southeast Turkey after rain triggered deadly flash floods. The water ruined homes, buildings, roads, and other structures. It also carried away cars and debris. These provinces are home to about 2.7 million people, still recovering from the 7.8 magnitude earthquake in the region last month that left over 200,000 buildings severely damaged. The disaster killed over 48,000 people and left millions homeless.
Across the country tonight, French cities grinding to a halt. In the capital, thousands of people taking to the streets after French President Emmanuel Macron forced through an unpopular bill that raises the retirement age from 62 to 64 years old. And he did it without a vote. Protesters tonight throwing bottles at a police barricade and setting tires on fire. Police responding with tear gas and water cannons. Across every major city tonight, similar scenes. A woman in Lyon saying the air was so thick with tear gas she couldn't breathe.
In the last 100 years, the world has seen 4 major economic events. The Great Depression of 1929, the Black Monday crash of 1987, the dot-com crash of 2000, and the financial crisis of 2008. 4 events that shook the global economy. Do you know what's common among them? 2 things. They all started in America, and they all had serious global implications. Now, the year is 2023, and history may be repeating itself. 2 American banks have collapsed. Global banking stocks have nosedived, and the crisis is spreading, and it's all linked to the United States of America. Yesterday, we told you about a 3rd American bank on the brink. Today, it has been rescued. We're talking about the First Republic Bank. Credit ratings agencies had rated this bank as junk, but now it's got a lifeline. America's biggest bank swung into action. 11 banks injected $30 billion, $30 billion. Why did 11 banks rush to save it? Essentially to save themselves. You see, this was done to contain the panic, to prevent another bank from collapsing. That would have really battered investment sentiment. So First Republic had to be rescued, and it has been. But this is not a sustainable strategy. And the crisis is far from over. Global markets are still in turmoil, and Europe is blaming America for all of this.